you doing, Chad?
Pretty good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. He set me up as host, and just in case he couldn't come, and it was telling me I had to log in or something.
Huh.
But I am logged in.
Well,
I'm gonna
everything seemed to work.
reconnect. I'll be back in a sec.
Sounds good.
Hello, Alexa, stop.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
What's going on? Yeah, doing good.
Uh,
Are you running the show today?
No, I think Chad is. He was just in and he popped out. He's gonna pop back in any second. So.
Okay, sounds good. Just working, multitasking, like everybody else, I
Same
suppose.
here. Just working on my big monthly report. I thought, you know what? I'm going to the meeting instead.
Yeah, last month I was ready for like half the morning, and then I forgot and just totally spaced out.
I was slightly worried about you.
What's that?
I was slightly worried about you because you're almost always on. So.
Yeah, it's like only the second time I'd missed. When it was tax time, I had to miss too. Was it July or something like that?
Fun. And thanks for singing in the large choir for the mission reunion.
Yeah, so the things we do, right?
Exactly.
So how do you put the halo on top of your head there, Chad?
You have to be good. So the newest update for Zoom, the newest update for, I just found this out yesterday at work, in one of our work meetings. So the latest update, there's that mute in the video button in the lower left.
Mm-hmm.
Click the little arrow that's part of the video where you can set the background. There's a new video filter. If you don't have it, you have to update your.
Update the app.
Yeah, I didn't have the video filter until this latest version. But you can do all kinds of. That's what I had today in my work meeting. Somebody at the very end said something about it. It's like.
I'll have to check it out.
You can throw Snap in there too, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, there we go. I don't need to do that for my hair to look like that, though. That's just normal.
Yeah, Aaron and I have.
Yeah, me and Ken are follically challenged.
Yeah.
It's interesting to. I'm not on a lot of social media. It's interesting to. I'm on Twitter mostly and see members of the church. I mean, maybe you're one of those. I should be careful what I say, but who criticized President Oaks in his talk, and it's just surprising because everything he said to me is like, well, when he stood up, I was like, here comes the law. Did you expect that from President Oaks? And nothing's ever a surprise to me. And he did that, and then you see all the people on social media were like, I'm disappointed. I think that, all this stuff. And I'm like, boy, I didn't get that out of that at all.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Hi, Kim.
Nice. Hey, I've got to Aaron. My husband and I sat there when Elder Oak started his talk, and I am a meticulous note taker. Yeah. Even though I go through them, through the ensign afterwards, it's what hits me right then. And I'm sitting there, and I've got my notebook on my lap, and I stopped. And all I wrote was, wow, with 3 exclamation points.
Yeah.
And Mark looked at me and he goes, you're not. And I said, no, I'm not taking notes. I don't want to miss one single word of this right now.
You wait for the printout to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then I'll take my notes again.
Those are the notes.
Yeah, I'll go back and listen to it, which I need to do. So, yeah, it surprises me. Well, I mean, we know from all the accounts in the Book of Mormon and other places that there are going to be people who are deceived in some way or another. So, and I hope I'm not one of them.
So the first thing is just to stay off Twitter. The only thing I ever do on there is complain to companies.
Is what? Say that again.
Complain to companies if their customer service is like has a problem. Then I call it out publicly, and then typically I get contacted by their office of the president to solve the problem.
Yeah.
It's only the canon at the end of trying to work through all the channels, of course. So that's about the only thing Twitter is useful for, in my book. Actually, I have like 3 Twitter accounts. One I use for my work-related stuff, and I basically just retweet what the company says. But they were having a contest that if you posted pictures of yourself or whatever with company stuff and put a certain tagline at the end of the year, whoever did the most gets a prize. So I created the account just for that, and I didn't want to mix any politics or any complaints or anything with it. So I keep it just for saying nice, just retweeting things and being a good employee. And then I have one for my model trains that I keep separate for my blog and stuff. So
Chad? Oh, Chad, yeah. We didn't recognize you, Chad.
yeah.
We had to look at your name to be sure we knew who you were.
The newest Zoom update for the app has these new video effects, and I was just playing with them. I just noticed them yesterday.
Okay.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Sorry, I have my dog. I probably should mute because he keeps wanting me to throw the ball. Kind of loud. How are you?
You're not working today.
No, as luck would have it, I was exposed to COVID at work.
Oh, great.
But the side is I've been tested. I don't think I have it, but I get the day off.
Well, do you have to quarantine for 2 weeks?
No, because they didn't tell me I was exposed till 1 week, so I just have 1 more week.
1 more week.
Yeah.
Our granddaughter and her family are quarantined up in Washington. She's just going nuts with.
Oh, that's with kids. Yeah, how do you not? And you don't get warning. You don't get to prepare for it. But
yeah.
Anyway, it's crazy time we live in. But I don't think I have it, so that's the good news.
Well, I hope not. Yeah, we hope not.
So you're already, Michelle, about a week past being exposed.
Yes, they didn't even tell me until it had been a week, and they said if you're feeling sick, go get tested. But I also substitute, and I can't take the risk that I'm going to be carrying it to the children. So
Right.
I told them I've been exposed. They said, okay, don't come in. And I thought, well, I'll just go get tested, and then I'll know whether I need to worry. So it still takes 3 days to get your results. By the end of that time, I'll know whether I have it or not. So.
Yeah, I don't know why it takes so long. It shouldn't take so long. I was tested a couple of weeks ago, and it was within an hour that I knew. So I think it's just.
Was yours is the
Where are you?
They're saying that those quick tests are sometimes not very reliable.
That's what they're saying. That's why I worried. I just went with the one at IHC, and it was a saliva test.
Uh-huh.
And they said 1 to 3 days. It's been 1 day, and I'm very impatient, so I haven't seen my result yet.
So I hope that the tests get better and quicker, because Japan's going to open up for tourists in April on a test basis, but you have to bring a negative test with you, and I think they're going to test you again when you get there.
See, that's what Korea did. We had to have within 36 hours of getting on the plane, we had to have a negative COVID test. And then once we arrived in Korea, they tested us again. And then they tested us again at the end of the 2-week quarantine. But we were University of Utah Medical Group. We were able to get our test done within 24 hours. Because we had to have this 36-hour window, but we had to be tested and we had to have 24 hours. And so we did the test Sunday morning. We flew out at 11 o'clock on Monday, and we had the test like at 3 a.m. of Monday. But now we have learned that they cannot do that anymore. It's 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So
Japan's not going to quarantine if you have a negative test. But this is starting in April. This is not right now. They're going to do it as a trial period. They're trying to get ready for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're going to you have to have an app on your phone, and you have to report any changes in your health, symptoms and things like that during the first 14 days you're there. But there's not going to be a quarantine. So we're interested because we want to go, not to the Olympics, but I mean, I wouldn't mind going to the Olympics. I just don't have that kind of time and money right now. But
you want to go home.
The wife wants to see her family. Hopefully her mom's still around, but we're not counting on that. But we were hoping to go in December, and obviously that's not going to happen. So
I'm supposed to go to Germany in May, end of May, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. We'll see.
End of May next year?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it will.
I hope so, but COVID is reported differently in different countries, and I know from talking to friends in Germany, they look at America and think, and we, probably to some extent it's true that we're crazy and all these people are dying, and yeah, some people are dying, but not a lot of people are dying from COVID itself, and they don't report it the same way. So a lot of countries are scared to let Americans in.
Yep.
They'll let you in if you have a business reason, though. All you need is a letter from your company.
Yeah.
Just tell them you're a professional athlete. They'll let you in.
Neep, are you still in Switzerland?
Yeah, I am. I can't get my kids here, though. That's my problem. So they're going to get out of BYU after Thanksgiving, but they can't come out here.
Is that because they don't have their residence permits?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, because I was going to say, Katie, my niece, has hers, so she's able to come home.
Right.
So where are you, Nephi?
I'm in Zurich right now.
Oh, in Zurich.
That's not just a screenshot behind you.
I'm not on the boat right now, but
Oh.
that's where I was this summer. I took this boat home from work during the summer.
Nice.
Is that Bodensee or what is that? What's the
It's a Zürichsee, Zurich, Zurich Lake Zurich.
it's just a Zürichsee.
That?
I said it's just a Zürichsee. Don't try to translate it.
They call it Zürichsee.
Yeah, that's its name. All of these sound funny if you try to translate them.
Yeah, Lake Zurich. It's fine then. Yeah, so we're probably coming home for Christmas to the States.
Are you?
Wherever else we can go, so we can get together as a family.
So Eric mentioned that he had an obligation at the same time. He's going to try to come in. So just so you're wondering where he is at, since he's sending everybody notices about the meeting.
No, we're just trying to get back to China. We'd like to go home. But it's
Are you guys settled there now?
We have a home there, but we can't get there. So
Where are you living? What part of town? Or you're in Beijing, right?
we're in Beijing. Yeah, we're moving to Shanghai next year.
Hello.
So
With
So where are
Disney?
you at now? Are you?
I'm in Utah now. We got back from Korea. China would not let us enter from Korea, which was one of our original plans. The company was even going to fly us on a private jet from Seoul into Beijing, because if we fly on private jet, we do not have to quarantine in China. And China said no foreigners, so no non-Koreans are allowed to fly into China from Korea. So we're back in the US waiting for additional visa clearance.
He still work though from home.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, my husband's sleeping right now because he works
Oh,
from 6 o'clock at night until 6 or 7 in the morning.
Oh,
So,
my.
so we're on different schedules.
Unfortunately, the time zone over there doesn't quite match.
No. So
You ironing him?
I am.
I should bring mine over to you. That's one job I hate. I hate to do.
What
The only person,
my mother raised me stating, you never ever iron. You don't iron, you take it out, have somebody else do it.
Iron.
For 10 years, I have had someone doing all of my ironing. And I don't have that here, but I did find Brian Tobler's mother-in-law loves to iron.
oh, really?
And my piles, oh, in fact, I'm not shy. So here's my ironing pile.
Oh, yeah.
And it was 4 times that size before we left for Korea. And I took everything to Brian's mother-in-law, except for my items, and she did it for me. I paid her for it, of course, but I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I can do my own ironing.
We solved that problem. We just don't iron. We just hang things up and wear them as they come.
You do know I'm anal retentive, right?
Yeah, I remember bringing a travel iron on my mission, and I was so excited, because we found this thing at Costco when Costco was brand new, back then. But bought it and get over to Germany. We never used it, because we never iron as missionaries.
Well, that's because the members did our clothes.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
There was that.
Well,
Although I remember having one of those manual washers and pulling it out of there, and it was so wrinkled, and I didn't have a dryer, so you hang it up like that. And, yeah.
well, my grandmother even ironed diapers, so that's the kind of background I come from. And I iron twice a year at conference time, so I can iron while I watch conference.
Doesn't President Lake do your ironing?
No, he does not.
Did you learn that one, Chad?
Marlon, why is your name Jake?
Because this is my son's iPad.
Okay.
We kept looking at that name Jake and trying to figure out.
Well, I figured Aaron would figure me out. So.
Well, I did.
Oh, we just thought you worked for State Farm.
Well, hopefully he'll get a job. So he's just a freshman, so.
He's ironing his khaki pants as we speak.
I'm out on the patio. I have 3 in there doing their schoolwork, so all online.
So my son just got home from school. He's a senior, and he has like a half a day, and then he has some slick concurrent enrollment classes in the afternoon, but they're only meeting like once a week each one. So he's out at 11:30. It's like when I was a senior, we never got out at 11:30.
I know. Well, then there's no other thing to do. I do have my 6th grader plays football, and we play in Utah, so we can have it. But other than that, there's nothing else going on. So.
Yeah, well, that's because where you live, there's nothing going on.
Hey, now.
Well,
Are
I
you-
mean, nothing, this, I'm not putting that part down. I'm just saying, there's nothing else there.
Well, it's Nevada still shut down.
I'm sure I understand the difference.
Our grandson plays with the American Fort Marching Band, and they're still rehearsing every day and participating in competitions and
No, I know.
doing their thing.
Wow.
Well, we can go back to church now every week, so that's just starting.
Yeah, we're gonna start this Sunday, and our ward had to split into two groups because we're bigger than the 150 they're allowing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have every other week, you'll be live, and every other week you'll be streamed with that new system they've set up
Where are you?
in West Jordan and Salt Lake Valley.
Oh, really? Because we're at 250 now, so our word can all go.
We were told 150, no more than 150. What we were 99, but now it's 150 is what they told us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here in North Carolina. Same thing, every other week. Unless you have, like my wife plays the organ, so she'll go every.
So the other wards in our state, we're the biggest ward in terms of people coming before the whole virus hit, in terms of Sundays, and so the other wards are gonna, they'll probably be able to get 100, 150 people in every time and go every week, but we had to split. So we're still trying to figure it out, like with the sacrament and stuff. Because what they want us to do, our stake president told us to put little plastic cups in for the bread and then break the bread into each little plastic cup. And then so it comes out, how many trays do you have? How many? So we actually went after, we had a ward council 2 weeks ago. And afterwards, 3 of us went and ran through several different ways of doing the sacrament. And we're going to end up using the bread thing. We're going to remove all the bread things. After the bread's done, we'll move all the tops off and then use those as the cup pickups. So then they'll get a water tray without the top, which was being used for bread previously, and then a water tray, and then they can pick up all the cups from everybody with the second tray.
You guys make it really complicated.
Yeah.
We've been going to church for 2 months now, maybe longer, and they started out passing out the bread with tongs. And then they went to just having a deacon with a mask on, and they just pass it out normally. But he's the only one who touches the tray. He passes it to everybody.
Yeah,
So
they don't pass the
people
trays
are only in every other row.
Yeah, they sit every other row and they don't pass the things. But our stake president wanted each piece of bread in a little individual cup. People, it's more of an appearance thing, so that the people who get uptight about it, they want to make them feel comfortable. So we have a really huge big jar of sanitizer up where the deacons are, and they're supposed to make it obvious that they're rubbing it on their hands when they go to stand in front of the thing.
They're not using gloves to do the sacrament?
No?
That's what I wish we were doing, is using gloves, but our stake isn't either.
That's what they're doing in our stake, is they're all of the deacons.
Gloves don't protect you from anything.
In our ward, the priests stand up and in front of everybody use sanitizer to clean their hands, and then they prepare.
They do that, and then the deacons as well will grab, when they go in front of the sacrament table, they make, then there's a really big bottle of the sanitizer so everybody can see it. It's more of an appearance thing to make people feel comfortable.
I was in a ward in California where they did that years ago, and I thought that was, really a neat thing. Actually, the priests would stand up, they would wipe their hands very obviously with sanitary wipes, and then they would start breaking the bread.
Our ward always had the sanitizer and stuff there, but it wasn't done in an obvious manner.
Yeah.
But they were instructed to sanitize their hands up before they broke the bread and stuff. But now they're trying to make it really obvious. But it'll be interesting because of the way we're doing it, they're going to actually, when they move the covering, the white covering between the bread and the water, they're going to actually go from right to left and pile it all on one end, so they can expose both the rows of trays that they're going to use, because they've removed the tops. So we'll see how this works. We haven't tried it yet in real life.
President and Sister Lake, I forwarded your messages from our reunion, forwarded them onto my family. They loved it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
That was a great day.
It was very nice.
Did anybody ever know exactly how many were there?
We had 67 on the call that we could see visually.
Uh-huh.
And then we had another 20 plus. I've got to go back and look at the number that were just listening.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a handful that I've been able to track down that, probably 10 to 15 that listened to it because they were not available during that time period.
Uh-huh.
So it was pretty good response.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It was good to see everybody. I don't know if we got to even glance at that many, but it was.
There were a lot of people that hadn't shown up at these things, and then there were a lot of people that showed up at these things that weren't there. So
yeah.
No,
and it was. I didn't realize that Notches had finally gotten to Munich.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that they were streaming from the mission home was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I liked his comment about when he moved in. It's like, I can't live in President Lake's house. That's not what he said, but something like that. It's like, I'm moving into President Lake's house.
So it's the same house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The same house. We were there 2 or 3 years ago in Germany. We were in Munich and we went by the house. We thought we'd knock on the door and see if we could go in and say hello. This is when Chris Brown was there, but they weren't home. They were off. Nobody was there, so we just had to do it and take a picture. It is the same house, yeah.
Wow. So is the office still on Fingerstrasse?
No,
That's the subway stop.
that was moved shortly after we left, I think, because they made something like an U-Bahn station or something there.
I don't remember it moving, but
Well, we went to visit them in May of 18.
Yeah.
We got to the grounds and they took us to the office, and it's just about a block away from the house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they bought a house, a kind of an apartment. Anyway, it's not far at all, and that makes it, I'm sure, much more convenient for them.
Oh, yeah. Maybe if we'd known that, we might have been able to go to the office and see them. But anyway, it was fun to be there and go by the chapel, and yeah, lots of memories.
Yeah, when we went to the ward, it was the English ward, but anyway, in my mind that was a full-size chapel, but really it's like a half chapel, isn't it?
Oh, well, we didn't go inside again, but maybe you're right. Yeah.
It just was in my mind. I thought, oh, this is just like an American ward, but really
it's smaller.
Smaller.
Oh.
And then there were not that many people. Well, we went to the English ward and went back again for the. It just seemed like it was very small.
Yeah.
Was that Hofbrunstrasse or so that was Hofbrunstrasse?
Yeah.
That was the one by the lake's home.
By the lake, right?
Yeah.
That's
because that is a smaller ward than the Munich first ward.
That might be why. Yeah,
it is a smaller ward.
Hi, Lola.
Hi. I'm multitasking. I'm working while I'm talking to you guys.
It
So
looks
how
like
are
you were
you?
eating too.
Did you decide when you want to come by?
So I'm going to be in Salt Lake today, but after today, I don't know when. I'm going to be down again. So
We'll just wait till we hear from you.
okay, yeah. I assume that today's not good for you guys.
No, it is not. It's good today. We're getting.
Yeah. So I'll look at the times and I'll see and I'll let you know.
Okay.
So did you get your flood taken care of in your backyard?
Oh yeah, it actually kind of took care of itself, but it was pretty muddy out there, and there was It took a little while for it to dry up, and our vegetable garden watered like it's never been watered before. So
Not all bad.
we didn't have any problem with the house or anything.
It wasn't on your meter. That's the important thing.
No, it was not on our meter. It was a water main on the street behind us. That's what it was. And the street buckled and they had to resurface it. And
Oh, wow.
Actually, it stopped just as it was going down the sidewalk on the west side of our house. And it was about 2 inches deep right there. There's a little step that it'd have to go up, and it stopped in the step. Before it went over the step, they had it solved, and so it really didn't go anywhere in the house at all.
it was discovered, our state president lives over there, and he and his wife got up to go for a walk. And when they have this water, what do you call it?
I know what you mean.
Place on their street where the storm drain, that's what I'm trying to say. And they walked past it, and after they got past it, they started hearing noise. And they turned around, and there was water coming up through every crack in the street.
Oh, wow.
Just bubbling up. But if they had not been out for a walk, who knows how long that might have gone before it was discovered. So it was one of those tender mercies.
An inspired state
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, do you know, while we were gone, there was that horrible windstorm here.
Oh, I
And-
know.
Yeah. Boy, I guess.
And, you know, we checked the cameras on our house to make sure everything was okay. And a few hours later, we get an alarm notice. So our alarm is hooked to our phones, and we get this notice, and it said, your master bedroom window is open. And we're going, what? Because we knew every window was closed. We had all the shutters closed, and our master bedroom is up on the second floor. And we're going, how is the window open? Well, the wind was so strong, it had blown the window up off of the track.
Oh,
It had popped the window, and so it was open, but it took a little bit of time before the top sensor moved. And so we had people come into the house because we're like, you know, the cameras aren't showing anybody in the house, but somehow the window's open. And sure enough, it was the wind that had opened up, it popped the window open.
oh, they're still cleaning up from that mess.
Yes.
Trees all over the place. And
Did you have your power, Lake?
what did we have? What?
Was your power out?
It was out from Monday night to Friday night.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a big pain, I think.
Yeah, it was cold those first 2 days, and
Yeah.
so we went down to our daughter Susie's and slept at her place because we didn't have any heat, and we stayed out at Steve's one day. They fed us dinner because we didn't have any power, and so anyway, but then we came home and we managed to survive the last 2 days.
Oh, you're great. Yeah, my
And our
parents.
neighbor who had power right next door to us
Oh,
brought an extension cord from his house over
So sweet.
and into the garage so that we could plug our freezer and refrigerator in.
Oh, thank you.
oh.
Now,
Oh.
wasn't that something?
That's ministering.
Oh, that was ministering, I'll tell you. And we had a generator that we bought 100 years ago and had never used. And our other neighbor on the other side of us didn't have any power, and they came over, do you happen to have a generator? And so we
Aw.
said, you can take this one and use it.
Try it.
Well,
You can get it started.
they found that the whole inside of it was just a mess. He took it all apart, cleaned the carburetor and everything, and got it to working for us. So now we
Scared.
Next time he needs a carburetor, he can't get it.
have the
'cause we'll be using it.
generator. Yeah.
Using it.
Anyway, We just had kindness all around us.
Michelle, did you lose your electricity?
No, we didn't. Most of our ward did, though. We have underground power, but where the rest of the ward is a little bit old of the overground, and they lost power. And then my parents that are up near President Sister Lake lost their power, but they were a little more stubborn and they didn't leave their home for 3 days. It'll come back on. I know it will come back on. Bundled up, but finally they just they didn't get it on until late Friday, but she was elated when it finally came on. She was just giddy. I mean, when you've been quarantined in your house, your house then becomes everything to you.
That's right.
You lose that power or the light or whatever it is, you just feel like it's your last straw. So
what was kind of funny is that we were saying our prayers Friday night. And of course, we've been praying for it for 4 or 5 days, but we were praying that the power would come back. And as soon as we were saying that, it did. Lights all over the house came on. And
your prayers, my mom girls.
It was really just like, a direct answer.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
My daughter has a really strong belief in prayer. When she was younger and in school, she had once forgotten to do her homework. And so she prayed that God would somehow make it possible for her not to have to hand in her homework. And right after that, there was a power cut in the whole city that she went to school, and they sent the kids home.
Yeah, is this your wife?
No, my daughter, one of my daughters.
One of your daughters. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it reminded me of when Michaela was young and the Olympics were on, and she really wanted to watch a certain event, and our TV didn't work for there was something wrong with with cable or something, and for hours it didn't work. And so she prayed that she wanted to watch the Olympics, and literally during her prayer, it worked. It came on. It worked.
She was supposed to do it.
There's no request too small.
Right.
I had an interesting experience about 25 years ago. I had a web server I was living in my parents' basement. This is early 95 or something like that. And with an ISDN line, and I had a web server. People were paying me to put classified ads up. And I worked down in Orem, and my dad had hired these people to put in sprinkler system because their yard they just moved in the house a year or two earlier and they hadn't put the yard in yet. And the dudes cut the phone line. And of course, as they trench around, the dirt falls back in, and there's this huge backyard, and we have no idea where the phone line is broken. And we spent an hour or two trying to find where the broken phone line was. And I had to get to my job down in Orem and stuff, and I had to get this phone line fixed. And so I prayed that, Lord, I need to get to work. We need to find this. And I stood up and I walked about 30 feet, put my hand into the ground and pulled the broken line. It was utterly amazing. It was the power of the Lord inspiring you. It has to be, because I just literally walked about 30 feet, knelt down, reached into the dirt, and pulled the broken wire out. Luckily, my dad had a part-time job at the phone company, so he had all the tools to splice the wires together. We got it up and running, and I was able to go. But all my life experiences, that one confirms everything right there.
Yeah.
2.5 years ago, Mark and I were here in the US. We were living in Beijing still. And I had made a decision. I inherited a very lovely pearl necklace from my mother. And it was, for those of you that don't know, my father's a jeweler. So this was a lovely pearl necklace, and it was 36 inches long. My father handpicked every pearl, and it's not the value, it was my mom's, and she wore it all the time. And I decided not to take it with us to the US, even though I usually did. We came back and the necklace was gone. And I was heartsick We had people that had stayed in our home while we were gone, some young single adults, one of which I didn't really know. And I was just beside myself. What am I going to do? And I didn't even dare tell my father that I had lost the pearls. But I kept praying, and I felt this constant, they're okay, they're safe, but I didn't know where they were. And then we moved all of our stuff back from Beijing almost a year ago. And I thought, okay, if it's anywhere in our stuff, I'm going to find it in one of these 400 boxes. And I went through everything, still didn't find it. I even had friends praying that I would find them. And Mark and I were getting ready for our trip to Korea. And that morning I had thought about my mom's pearls and just how sad I was that I had lost them. And they really were irreplaceable. And I went to grab the suitcases out, and we needed to take 3 large ones with us because we were going for an entire, well, we didn't know exactly how long, but at least a month. And the Spirit said, check the pocket in this one. And I went in and I touched the side and I felt something, and I knew, and I opened it up, and inside was a jewelry bag with my mother's pearls inside.
Oh.
And then I remembered, yes, I did leave them in Beijing almost 2.5 years ago. And I knew there were people staying in the house, and I had just had them restrung. And I put them in the pocket of a suitcase that we left in Beijing to protect them. And I'd forgotten. So I have Mom's pearls again.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But I kept praying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, things like that. We had a situation actually about a year ago, wasn't it? We had lost the keys to one of the cars, and they had one of those things on it that costs a fortune to replace. What do you call them?
A fob.
Electronic key things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could not find them anywhere. We looked in every drawer. We looked under every piece of furniture. We looked in dishes in the cupboard. We went everywhere, and we could not find them. And it wasn't that we couldn't replace it, but it would cost a lot of money to do it. So we were praying that night, and I had the thought, you didn't look in your purse. They were his keys. And when we finished praying, I went and opened my purse, and there they were. Simple things.
I didn't put them there.
Well, we haven't settled that one yet, but maybe we will.
The Lord knows. He knows.
He knows. That's all right.
That's right.
Do you ever have disagreements with your spouses and then say, you know, when we get to the other side and this is replayed, I want you to remember this.
I've been known to say that before.
Disagreements? We haven't ever had any disagreements, have we? We've been married almost 63 years. Yeah.
Well, hey, Alan.
Hey, I got to drop, but everyone can pray for me to find my house key. That maybe that'll work with all of you. You guys seem to have more luck than I do.
You've lost your house key?
One of them, yeah. But, anyway, I gotta drop. I'll see you guys later. Good talking.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Michelle,
Yes.
was that your son you had on the screen here a few minutes ago?
Oh no, that was my dog.
No. It was not a dog.
I was throwing the ball to Bilbo Baggins.
Well, there was a picture of you and this good-looking tall guy.
Oh, a picture on Facebook. Yes. That's my son, Thomas, a student at the University of Utah in engineering. And yeah, so he's 22, served in Lubbock, Texas, Spanish speaking mission. He's been home about 2 years now. So
What year is he in school?
he's in his second year.
Okay.
And he's doing an internship with Colmec. It's a smaller company. They make computers for the military computers.
Okay.
So he's getting some practical experience, which is so nice because with school being online, you'd have a hard time knowing if what you're doing at home is even resembles what you might do later. And they found that they were essential workers because they were working for the military. So had to go to work during even the early times of quarantine or lockdown, whatever we were in.
Wow.
But and now he's met, so I met Todd after our mission, but we both served Munich mission. But now he's met a girl from Lubbock mission that came to the mission just the last transfer before he came home. And he waited and waited, and then he asked her out when she got home, and now they're dating. So, but you're missing the Lord knows what he's doing when he calls us to certain missions, I think, because without that, I don't know if I'd have asked, if Todd had asked me out in any of he asked me out in German, and I said yes, but our German was so bad. I don't know. But anyway, that's my story of my son, but pretty proud of him. He's a good kid.
That's great.
Is it possible to date during this pandemic?
I know it's strange, but they she actually goes to Snow College, so they have to work it out. It's sort of a long distance, although they're taking an institute class together.
Virtually?
Virtually. Well, it's virtually, but sometimes, they need to meet in Provo to do it together. You know what I mean? You find a way to compromise.
How are you, President?
Hello.
Doing well.
Good to see you. I forgot this was going on until I saw Michelle on the phone.
Better than never.
It's always great to see you guys.
It's good to see you. But we have a grandson that's at BYUI, and he tells us that it's not possible to date at this particular time during the pandemic, but that it's a convenient excuse for him. So I'm going to call him and tell him I know a couple that are managing to date.
I'm not sure that for the young people it really matters. I mean, it's all texting and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
In their communication.
Get creative.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he has to learn how to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you can do a lot outside 6 feet apart.
That's the first step, is learning how to talk to her.
This is Teresa's son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Young son?
Her
Oldest,
no, it's not her youngest son. It's actually, no, he's a middle child.
Oh, that's the problem.
Very shy.
Is that the problem? Middle children have their problems. Is that what you're saying?
They do.
What is he studying in school?
He's studying physical therapy.
Gotcha. Because I interview computer people and I have to say, now, can you talk to girls or do you like to sit in a server room? And if they say I can talk to girls, then I'll hire them because they can talk to
And socialized.
Yeah. You got to know the right answer to one question. Huh?
That's the key question when I interview.
It doesn't matter what they can do as long as they can talk to people.
That's right.
Because you can teach them the other stuff.
That's right, Chad.
President Sister Lake, my sister and brother-in-law live in Oregon, and
where in Oregon?
Well, now they live in Estacada, but they used to live in West Lynn.
Oh, did they?
And so they were in your son's stake.
Oh, yes.
And I, when you mentioned it in the our reunion that it's David, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. When you mentioned that David was the stake president there in Lake Oswego, I texted my sister and I said, "Do you know a David Lake?" And they said, "Yeah, awesome guy." And I said, "Well, that's my mission president's son." And they just go, and they said, "Oh, now because they knew your name and stuff, but they just they made that connection, and they said, "Well, we always knew that he must have great parents."
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
They were just here for a visit, but
Just took him to the airport this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know whether they had anyone in their stake that was affected by the fire, that lost a house or anything?
Oh, I don't know about losing a house, but the smoke has been something terrible up there. And they were on watch because the fire got fairly close to their town of Wilsonville, but they did have the Willamette River as a break. And the fire that they were worried about never did cross the river. So,
yeah.
But whether the other side of that river was in their stake, I don't know. They didn't say anything today.
No.
I don't think so. But
yeah, well, we thought my sister was gonna end up losing her home. I mean, it was literally just like a mile outside of away from their house, and they and getting closer every day, and they weren't able to do anything to contain these fires there for a while. And but anyway, they finally did get in there. And the church was the church building was in a direct line of fire as well. And but they ended up doing okay. But I know that you probably read this in the church news, but there was one ward there in that area that ended up losing 60 families ended up losing their homes.
Oh, that one town of Talent, which is down near
Medford.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's down south. Yeah.
I lost everything.
Yeah.
It's like the one in California a couple of years ago. Paradise.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It is, and there was a note from our state senator on the TV or online today on the email telling us that we've had 1,300 some odd fires in Utah, and over 900 of them are human caused.
I had one right behind my house. I might have mentioned it. I don't know if I did. 2:30 in the morning, one morning, I was dreaming that I could smell smoke, and it got pretty strong, and I opened my eyes and I'm like, that's smoke. And I stood up, and my house faces the mountain. My master bedroom faces the mountain, and I went, there was fire right behind our house. And that was human cause. We caught it on security camera. Just terrible.
Wow.
Where was that, Aaron? Where is it?
Pleasant Grove, North Utah County.
Yeah.
How is it human caused? I mean, what happened? What they catch on camera?
Well, so the video that I have shows it starting and then kind of dying out and then starting again. And I watched it about 20 times, and I thought I could hear something, so I put on my headphones and I listened to it very closely. And I think it said, and I've shared this with police, I think I heard somebody say, "Is it on? We got to go." So, and there are other circumstances. There's a 20-foot dirt road between the two areas that burned where it started, and they both burned. And there's no way that they jumped the road as well. So, yeah.
So not just human cause, like on accident, but like deliberately human
this
cause.
was intentional. Yeah, this one was intentional.
That's sad. That's really sad.
I think there's a lot of intentional.
Yeah.
Right now.
We live very close to the Neff's fire. It was up Neff's Canyon.
I think it's still not totally out, but But they said that one was caused by,
Human cause.
was it?
Yeah.
Or was
No,
that
no,
it?
no.
I thought it
wrong.
was lightning caused
Lightning
that one.
caused that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had the occasion to yell fire. That was in earnest. That was the first time for me at 2:30 in the morning. 4 of us live here. And I just to be the fire, just yelling at the top of my lungs at 2:30 in the morning, getting everybody up. And the funny thing is, my wife set her phone down and couldn't find it when it was time to leave because we were getting evacuated. And she refused to leave. I have to have my phone. I got to communicate with my kids. And I said, no, we're leaving. So,
This is why it helps to be a dude, because you have your pants pockets and everything you need is in your pants pockets.
that's right.
You don't have to worry about your keys or your phone or anything. It's all there. Where my wife is always wondering where her stuff is.
Okay.
Unless you put your keys in your wife's purse and then you can't find them.
Mine goes around now.
So Aaron, when was that?
That was, I need a date. It was like September, first week of September, probably.
How long were you out of your house?
Well, so we were starting to drive away, and then I decided I was staying with all my neighbors, and so I sent them along, and I stayed and watched them put it out. So it only ended up being an acre or two, but it's scary when you've got 15-foot flames right behind your house. For sure.
I should say.
Yeah.
The intersection by our development had a big fire in a field from the 4th of July. So it was a fireworks thing, but it was pretty scary because it was, probably an acre or so that burned. And I mean, it wasn't that close to our house, probably half a mile or something, but still to see it right there, not on TV somewhere, but right there, it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
We have, and all 3 of them, we've lived in this home for 15 years and have never had a fire. And in the Indonesia, I can only think of the German. And this summer we've had 3, and they're all human caused. So.
Wow.
Well, that's something. Yeah. But we need to leave. We have a lesson to prepare for our Pathway District meeting tomorrow night. So we'll say goodbye to all of you and get going on that.
See, it's good talking to you. You guys look great.
Good to see all of you. I just looked at myself. I sometimes go to put on lipstick and then I think, why am I putting this on? And then putting a mask on. Nobody knows whether I've got it on or not. So I just noticed I don't have it on, and I'm sorry that I look the way I do. But anyway.
Just be like,
You look great.
I didn't even shower, so there.
Yeah,
I can assure you, nobody here
I haven't
noticed.
even showered today, so. Yeah, but Chad has his on. Chad has his lipstick on.
Yeah, you just do you can do virtual ones. Just forget, just do it on your computer with the effects.
Bye, you guys.
It's good to see you. Bye-bye.
There.
Bye.
We'll see you guys. It's wonderful to be with you.
So
today.
what's the date of the next one, Chad?
First Wednesday of every month. So whatever the first Wednesday of November is.
November.
And
Okay.
Eric will send out reminders.
That's good.
Okay.
That's what we need.
Nice to see you all.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you as
Bye.
well.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, good to see everybody.
What's that?
I'm done ironing.
You're
Now the
still
show
ironing?
starts? Is that what you're telling us, Kim? Is that now the party starts?
No. I've got to get up to Park City, so I've got to get on. I've got to get the rest of my day going.
I'd like to hear a report from Alan Bott about the church finances. Actually, I guess we just heard one, didn't we? So.
Yeah, you're not going to hear one from me, but it's really, really good to see everyone.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
We missed you at the virtual reunion.
Yeah, life's pretty crazy. I don't make it to everything, but I come when I can. We have our first grandchild, so life is good. Hey. And she only lives a couple of miles away from us, so we see her pretty much every day. So Yeah, really can't complain.
And you learn the best thing about being a grandparent is you can hand them back.
Yeah. Well, we like holding her too. She's wonderful.
Yeah, but when the
I
diapers
know, I
come,
get what you're saying. Coach.
and when it's time to change the diaper or they're fussy or whatever, it's like, oh, I think they're calling for you.
Yeah. Well, I take it if she's fussing a little bit, I take that as a challenge to calm her down. So
That's right. Yeah.
When it gets a little bit older,
I've got to run. Love to all of you.
All right. See you,
Yeah.
Kim.
yeah.
so Alan, when she gets a little bit older, you can get the knee working. That works all the time.
Yeah. She's not quite to that age yet, but yeah.
They got to be able to hold their head. But
Yeah, you break her neck when you do it.
yeah. When they get a little bit older, when they can hold their head up and stuff.
Yeah, we'll give her some time with that. But anyway, it's been a great blessing to us. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I've got to drop off as well. Just really good seeing everyone. It's good listening in.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining.
So are you
everyone
calling?
take care.
Alan, are you calling from your work office or home?
This is work. This is work.
Okay. I'm gonna say you had a tie on. It's like, that's dedication if you got it on at home.
Yeah, this is work. I'm at work today.
Yeah, I'm at work too. This is
Yeah,
what I'm wearing,
yeah.
so.
And I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Take care. See you. Bye.
All right. See you, jealous.
Yeah.
Well, I've got about, I don't know, maybe 15 more minutes myself. So
I'm on until everybody else is off. You take as long as you want. I'm kind of like the watch keeper.
So Bjorn, I'm working on getting a bunch of my photos scanned and all that kind of stuff. I'm way behind you, but
just send them to Bjorn. He'll take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did actually do it for Richard Jensen.
What's that?
I did actually scan Richard Jensen's slides.
Oh, really? Wow.
I visited him a couple of years ago and took his slides with me.
I wish I knew what
Wow.
my slides were. I took
Yeah.
a ton and sent them to my parents and they disappeared. So
Now, what's the fastest way to go about that? What's your recommendation?
Fastest way is to pay somebody to do it. But that's obviously not the cheapest way.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, are they slides or paper?
Oh, they're paper.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, some kind of good scanner.
Yeah. Can you do more? I mean, you could do more than one, but does that add time to it?
So
I haven't tried that yet.
I don't really have any paper pictures. I do believe that there are some scanners. I think Epson have some where you can put multiple pictures on the scanner bed, and it can recognize them as separate pictures.
It's true. It can. They also have the ones that you put the slides in, or if you have negatives, like I have old negatives from.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you not have the negatives from those papers?
Oh, yeah, I do.
So
Because the computers that do 4 or 5 of, or I guess 4, and then if you tell if it's a negative or a slide, a positive, and if it's a negative, it automatically converts it to a picture and it'll crop it, and you just save the 4 pictures. It's pretty cool.
So
plus
there's
it might
like a
even,
device
might
that
even
you,
be at better quality when you scan the negatives than the paper.
I would imagine. So this is a device that you can purchase that.
There are devices you can purchase, but there are also some scanners that have the capability of scanning negatives and slides as well. Yeah, you have to sort of put something on the scanner bed to.
And then are you able to increase the size of those? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the best thing is to get a proper, but that's also not the more expensive option, to get a proper slide/negative scanner. So I purchased one many years ago, and because a lot of people were saying that I bought a fairly expensive one, and they said that I'll probably be able to resell it at the same price that I paid for it. And looking at eBay, it actually looks to be true so far.
Huh. Okay.
it's kind of like you buy a good thing and they keep their value. You buy a junky one and they don't. on the mission, I bought a bike. I bought a Hercules bike, and it was expensive at the time. It was, 400 something marks, which was compared to the Kmart or the Kaufhof Special, which was 200 marks, what some of the guys in our group bought. We had one elder, I won't mention any names, but he's not here. I haven't seen him on any of our meetings. He went through 3 bikes in the first couple months. And I had my bike at the end. I had broken the cranks on it eventually, but I got those fixed from junk day. I went and found some old ones, and the bike guy across the street from us, did it for 10, charged me 10 marks to put them in because he liked the missionaries. And I did a few upgrades, but I sold it in terms of dollars for the same money I paid for it. The mark had gone down, the dollar had gone down. So, I only got 300 something marks for it with my upgrades. But after 2 years of riding it on a mission, it's because I bought a good bike to start with. It's the same with your slide scanner. You bought a good one to start with, it holds its value, where you buy the junky one, nobody cares after a year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's best nowadays. So mine is actually a Nikon, but Nikon doesn't make slide scanners anymore. I know there's a company called Reflector. I just put that in the chat window, that also makes slide scanners nowadays, or still makes slide scanners nowadays. But which one of what they make is, has an adequate mix of quality and not being too expensive, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
The problem with slide scanners is, as time goes by, there's going to be fewer and fewer of them available because there's fewer and fewer people who actually have slides.
Yeah, and have a need to scan them.
Yeah, when did people start using mostly digital? 20 years ago. I'm sure there are still a few diehards out there still shooting film, but even the pros are all using fancy $10,000 digital cameras.
Yeah.
And so just the market is just going away for that kind of a thing. My dad got a slide scanner of some sort. I don't know if it's a flatbed that has a slide adapter or what, but he went through and did all his stuff from his whole life and donated a lot.
It takes a while. So I don't know if it's also because mine is old, but it takes about 5 minutes per slide. In my case, it scans it twice, to sort of get an HDR-like picture, and with a lot of light, with not so much light. But so if I'm working on something where, every 5 minutes I can pass it a new slide, then it works.
Wow.
If you have the whole Star Wars series movies in the background, it goes a little faster. You have to watch the Lord of the Rings movies. But you get through it.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
The processing power today is probably a little bit greater, but still, it's taking something that's this big. You can't, with the camera, you can't see, but basically, imagine a slide, which is, 4 times of your thumbnail or something like that, and is making it into a large high resolution picture. So it's going to take a bunch of work to make that work correctly. So
yeah.
One thing, as I said, I don't know whether new slide scanners nowadays do that. I would have thought they probably do. So one thing which is special about mine is that it has an infrared light channel. And with that, it can, to some extent, detect dust on the picture. And it can get rid of it automatically.
Rich, you're an hour late.
So I think I've got an example I could show of a picture, before and after this infrared stuff.
Well, I just went to Amazon and I'm looking at some Kodak. It was the first ones that came up, but slide scanners, digital film, slide negatives and stuff. So interesting.
Probably the kind of thing you want to go read a bunch of reviews on the websites that deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Quality's pretty much the same with all those, Mark. You want to find something that can scan a little faster. Some are so slow, and some are actually a little faster. I found that find one that's a little bit faster, and you'll be happier. But the quality's the same.
You think so? Okay.
Host has disabled participant screen sharing. Jack, can you do something about that?
I can't claim the host.
Oh. Okay.
I've tried a couple of times. I thought he had made me host, but it doesn't show me. And I tried to claim host, and it wants some sort of passcode.
Yeah, but yeah. So as I said, I've got this fancy scanner with infrared, and it can detect what part of the picture is dust and hair, and automatically, as if by magic, get rid of it.
Huh. Interesting.
Because I mean, and in fact, that's what I've found is one of the things that takes a lot of the time when scanning. Okay, to some extent, I think maybe I did the stupid thing. I thought it was a smart thing. I mounted my slides in slide mounts with glass, and that glass seemed to have attracted dust and dirt. So before I even pop it in, I first have to clean it and then put it in, and there's still dust and dirt on it.
The electrostatic.
Well, another thing I've noticed is, which I was quite surprised at, I mean, some of my slides have already deteriorated in color. Although I can see that it depends on what film I used. The Kodak film has not changed color quite so much, but some of the other film that I bought, Fuji or Agfa, has already deteriorated. But again, software can actually get around that.
Well, I just realized I've got a real problem with now when I'm looking at these, because I didn't use, I wasn't using a regular camera. I came out with a disc camera. So the film or the negatives are in a circle. So I probably wouldn't be able to use any of these things.
Google is your friend, or
Bing.
Bing.
Yeah.
Or DuckDuckGo.
Yes, that as well. But they use Bing results anyway.
Yeah, Bing does bring better results. I was just reading a humorous article about that, actually, that Microsoft feels like they're going to be able to get more hits if they rename their product Microsoft Bing. Like that's going to change anything.
Okay. If you look on YouTube, there's a small clip from I've never seen the series, but apparently they did a newer version of Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've seen.
And there's this one place. I mean, it's very clearly product placement where he's talking about this statue and he's saying it was made by so and so, and she says, "I don't believe you. If you don't believe me, Bing it."
I guarantee you, if you not tell 99% of the people in the world to Bing something, they won't know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is
I have a colleague who used to work for Microsoft, and he said they used Google internally, but obviously when they had customers around, they couldn't talk about using Google. So they would talk about advanced Bing.
Advanced Bing. Wow.
I'm not sure that Bing was the best name that they could have chosen for that in the first place anyway.
Agreed.
I can see some IP addresses behind you, Ken. What do you do?
They're all private addresses too.
I know. I noticed that as well.
Oh yeah, I'm an IT network guy and a database analyst.
Yeah, I think just like Google does funny things with their website from time to time. Bing should do the same thing. With their whatever it is, the click button, that you click on to go search. They could just put "butta" on there, so you bada Bing.
They've tried that with not that, but they had the full color photo backgrounds and stuff that every day changed and things like that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Didn't they? I don't think that got them much, but
yeah,
they should have like a better name, just because if you're not Google, you have to be like Dogpile or DuckDuckGo or something that's solely outrageous that people will remember.
Yeah.
Bing, what's that? Isn't he an old singer?
Again, I mean, everybody who's not using Google, even if it's got another name, they're actually using Bing. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like DuckDuckGo is like a proxy into Bing.
So if you want to know what the church uses its money on, then they, amongst other things, use it on software from my company.
Oh, nice.
So does that mean we're going to get a tithing rate hike?
Say again?
Are we going to get a tithing rate hike to pay for that software?
Well, we have talked about it. I've actually got, well, one of them has just left, but we were actually, which is a bit unique here in Europe, we were 3 Mormons in the UK office. So yeah, we did talk about, you know, our tithing money at work.
Tithing is now going to be 11% to pay for Bjorn's company's software. So what is it you do then, Bjorn? I think you've told us before, but I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone what you told us 3 months ago.
So so my title is sales engineer, which means that I help the salespeople sell our software.
But what is that software?
I'm the one with the technical knowledge.
What is that software?
So the company is called Splunk. It's always challenging, isn't it, to try to explain in one sentence what we do.
This is your elevator speech.
Yes, but we've actually recently purchased some companies, so now we do more things. But we make machine data accessible, usable, and valuable. And machine data is the kind of, you know, any kind of data that machines emit. So whether that be a server or an IoT type device or a phone, an elevator, whatever. And we have some data, or some software that makes it possible to ingest very, very large amounts of data and analyze that very, very quickly. So our biggest customer, I think, although we're not allowed to, officially we're not allowed to tell that, is Apple. So all your iTunes purchases and when you're accessing stuff, they analyze that with our software.
Awesome.
I just went to your website and read that Domino's has transformed their business by using your company.
There you go. The church mainly uses our software. Can also be used to monitor security, IT security, and that's one of the main things that the church uses our website for. To family search and all those websites are.
I'll have to see if my neighbor is familiar with it. He's the head of North American cybersecurity for Rakuten. And
well, Alan, I remember last time I was in Utah, Alan Bott was aware of our company. So whether that's because they spend that much money with us or not, I don't know. Although I could look it up if you were really, really curious.
No,
I did overhear one of the support people. I mean, we are a US-based company, but yeah, we have some support people that used to sit nearby where I sat. And I remember overhearing one of them saying, "The corporation of the bishopric of the Church of Jesus Christ," you know, this reading up this long name. What is that?
Did you say anything?
I didn't at that time, no.
Glad you asked.
You want to know more?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the perfect lead-in.
Yes.
That's why they named it that, you know, just to get questions.
But yeah, as a company name, the church does have a pretty long name.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm actually getting curious now. What is it it says?
It's a corporation of the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot more business interests than they do now.
It's much better than Bing, right?
At least you know what it is. You know, Bing, what is, you know, he's an old singer.
Yeah. Well, I need to jet myself. I've got a meeting here in 10 minutes and I need to write out a few talking points. So.
Oh, it looks like Brigham Young University is also a customer.
Who is?
Brigham Young University.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Take care, Mark. Good to see
And Porsche. It looks like Porsche is it.
Porsche is a customer as well, yes.
Yeah.
BMW.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later. Good to see you all. See you in a
Good to
month,
see
I guess.
I
Okay.
gotta run too. I'm sorry I'm late, Bjorn. Good to see you. I'll call you.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you just got here. You can't leave yet.
I know. I got to. I was terrible. See you in a few weeks.
Do you see it? Well, just the 3 computer nerds left, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 of them. Yeah, I guess I ought to go too. I got some data to pull. Bjorn, do you guys ever use Hive?
Say again?
Hive SQL or what's it called? Just went out of my head. Hadoop.
So our software is some of the functionality is similar to Hadoop. So it actually uses MapReduce algorithms when it searches. And we do have a connector so that we can pull data out of Hadoop as well. Hadoop clusters, and we can pull data out. And we can pull data out of databases as well.
Cool. Yeah, I make a lot of software, if you will, out of access databases because we're regulated by the FDA and we have to keep track of everything, every technician, their training, what they're doing, every part. We manufacture parts for kidney dialysis machines and heart lung bypass machines. So if something ever goes wrong or somebody gets hurt, we have to look and see who on it, when, and all that stuff.
We have to be FDA regulated for our software, but it's not anywhere near what the device manufacturers are.
Yeah, and we're getting into this UDI labeling too now, so that's crazy. You think computers to make things easier, but then they add more and more and more. So
it's great, isn't it?
Keeps you in a job.
It is great. That's right, job security. So
you could be driving a taxi cab somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought I would show people my office. This is my basement.
How many monitors do you have?
So that thing there is the work computer, and there's actually the computer itself is in the corner over here. It's just a laptop. But I bought these 4. So our company gave us $250 for our home offices because most people are working at home who weren't working at home, unlike me who works at home anyway. So I bought a 40-inch 4K TV from Costco. So I can I had a 32-inch 4K, which replaced the 27, and so I have a 40 and a 32 instead of a 32 and a 27. So my poor old ancient eyes can see things better. I liked it so much that this computer, which is my personal one, has the same 40-inch one here right next to it. But I just put that on a week ago. So
nice.
So each computer has 3 screens.
I'm in front of me, but
what's
that's
that?
only 27-inch.
Yeah, the 40 inches. It takes a while to get used to it. I wasn't sure I was going to get used to it, but after like a week of using it, it's like, you know what? I kind of like this. I have to put it back a few extra inches away from me. But this is like 4 normal 1920 by 1080 screens in one screen. But it's not really small like it used to be. When I had a 27-inch one, things were kind of small and you kind of had to like stare at it. Now it's like not a problem.
Don't know what happened there.
It's one of those network gremlins.
Yeah. I had a colleague who said that, I haven't tried it, but who said that if you have a really big monitor, you really need it curved because it just becomes too much screen estate you have to move your head all the time to get it all in.
I don't have that problem. My problem is that the mouse, it takes a while to find the mouse and then move it from screen to screen. the pointer.
That almost needs to be this big sometimes because I have to find it myself too. I upgraded to 3 screens at home and I have the problem too. I'm like, where is it? I forget about looking at the 3rd screen and it's usually there. So
Yeah. So my home computer I have an iMac. It used to be a laptop, but it broke and I was in the middle of a job for somebody, so I had to replace it. And then I actually got it fixed, and so now my daughter uses it. But I have 3 screens on that. I have an old Apple 30-inch screen, which is not high res. It's 25 by 1600 or something, which is a lot, but it's a 30-inch screen, so it doesn't have that preciseness that the newer screens have. It's like 14 or 15 years old, but it works. So I put like the music player over there and other things that I don't need to look at that often, but I want to have available. And then I just use the main screen and then the iMac screen. But it's once you get used to having lots of screen real estate, like if I go back to the home office in Indiana, which I only do like every 2 years or something, but I'm working on my laptop and then they give me like one external screen when I get there, I feel like I can't work.
Yeah.
Because when I'm here at home with the 4K screen, for my development, I can put, the whole thing there where I can see a ton of code at once and the debuggers and all the other things all on one screen. And I can see a lot. And then I can have my documentation on another screen and the mail on there. And then you start working on having to like scroll around and move around and you have a little tiny screen. It's like, you know what? I don't want to come to the office. I just want to stay home. This is too much of a pain.
I agree. I feel like my intelligence or I felt smarter. I feel smarter having more screens. I don't know. It's like because I do too. When I have my code, it's like it's nice to not have to hit Alt Tab all the time and forget where you are. But I feel like the more screens, the more my brain has been opened up. I don't know. I better not put too many more screens. I want to go the other way now. Tired of thinking. I tell people because they ask me how I code, and I don't know how it is with you guys, but I liken it to juggling balls. Like you get in, you juggle 2 balls, and you juggle 3, and then you juggle 4, and then you finally get 5 balls going. You're just so concentrated on all these things, and as soon as somebody comes in and says, "I have a quick question," all those balls drop, and then it takes a while to work my way up. And yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of sort of getting in the zone, and you don't want to be interrupted when you're in the zone.
Right. That's how I explain it to people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just.
So Ken, you work in an office, obviously. You're not working at home and stuff.
Blessed / cursed that I haven't lost any days of work, and we actually split our shifts. We had 1 shift, but we split in 2 in case someone got infected, then we wouldn't be completely down. And we disinfected our warehouses and offices in between, but we're back together now. But yeah, I almost liked it because I was 2nd shift, and then I had a little more peace to get things done. So.
And the worst, I've been working from home forever anyway. I just think there's no change for me, but the hardest thing is you're always at work. I find myself with the work computer here and my personal one right here, somebody will, like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm trying to work on something myself, and somebody asks a question on a Slack channel or something like that. You want to go answer the question type of a thing. So it's always like you're always there.
Yeah, I agree. My wife works from home. She works for GoDaddy, and I have to tell her, turn your phone off, turn your stuff off. But she goes, well, I goofed off during the day, so I have to work at night. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I sometimes feel like that too. It does give me the privilege to, like, if the wife's working, she works as a nurse 3 times a week. So, and my kids are younger. One's in 7th grade and one's a senior. He drives them to school in the morning, but he comes home at 11:30. So we have to go pick her up at 3 o'clock. So when the wife's working, I have to go pick her up. So I don't feel a problem leaving to go pick her up, and if take her to the doctors or whatever I need to do during the day, I just do it. because I know I can always, I have to, as long as I get my work done, nobody really cares. But still, you, in the back of your mind, you feel like kind of an obligation. Even though the end result
It's
is
funny you do that. But when it's 10 o'clock and you work 16 hours, it's like they don't feel obligated. So, is it rationalizing? Such is life, right?
I was asking Eric if he had the host key so I could turn on file sharing and stuff. He's looking for it. Bjorn wants to show us his great photos, even though Mark's gone.
Just hitting what was it, Alt S or something doesn't share the screen, it prevents it.
Well, right now the host has it turned off, and I thought I was going to be co-host, but he didn't. I'm trying to claim host, and it's asking me for super secret password or something like that.
I mean, it's just saying host disabled participant screen sharing. So.
Yeah, and there's a little claim host button. I don't know if everybody has it or just people that were designated or something. Underneath the participants where it says invite, mute, raise hand, and claim, it says claim host. But if I do that, it says log in to claim host. Well, I'm not the host, so logging in didn't help me. And it wants a host key of some sort, So usually Bjorn and me are set up as hosts or co-hosts.
Yeah, that was back when we were doing it weekly, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. I would assume it's the same invite, though.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if he can just make us permanent hosts. Since he has a paid account, he can do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have to deal as the executive secretary. We have Zoom meetings. Well, we have been. We're going to probably have real meetings now that we're going back to church. But I've had to deal with just the free account, and I try to do things like set up a co-host and it's, oh, you gotta have a paid account. Oh, you gotta have a paid account. It's like, oh, whatever. And everything. So you guys should play with these studio effects. Give yourselves mustaches and beards and stuff.
This is the Zoom thing. I did notice that there was something in beta, it tells me.
Yeah, studio effects beta. If you have the updated Zoom account, when you go into the little video where you can choose your background, there's another one that says something else. It says video
Studio Effects beta apply to all future meetings. So it seems that you have to click that and it will only be relevant for the next meeting.
No, I mean, I'm playing with it right now. That's how I got my green lipstick and stuff on. Is if you apply to all future means save it, so that next time you log in, you automatically have your green lipstick again.
Yeah.
But you should be able to click on eyebrows and mustaches and lip color and then change colors and things like that.
The only thing I've got is maybe I'm not quite sure whether I want to have this recorded or not. But the only thing I have is eyebrows, mustache, and beard, and lip color. That's the only options available to me.
Yeah, but actually, if you look at where it says virtual backgrounds, it says video filters next to it, underneath the main thing.
Oh yeah. I've noticed
that's where the hats and stuff are.
That's new.
Yeah, that's until I updated, I didn't get that. So Ken, how did you do that one?
I use there's an app called Snap Camera, and you can apply it to any on.
Yeah,
I can use it too when I'm talking to colleagues or whatever.
When you're talking to customers,
when they start customers or when they really get boring, I do something and kind of livens up the conversation. So yeah, the Snap Camera is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not quite as advanced as Snap Camera, this Zoom thing I can show.
No, but hey, that's pretty cool. The shark thing is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these are pretty dumb.
You got to get the Fox ones on so you can say, what does the Fox say? I said that because we went to a Halloween store a couple of days ago with my daughter. She wanted to go look at things, and they had little fox ears and stuff, and it looked exactly like the ones from that video.
Wow.
Nice.
What's this one do?
Well, guys, I hate to go, but I need to get back to some stuff here, and but it's good to see you. And Dora, I look forward to getting to know you. always heard your name, but never got to talk to you. So
Yes. Likewise. Right.
when did you serve again?
When did I serve? I came out September. I can't never remember whether it was beginning of September or end of September or beginning of October. But anyway, sometime there around 83 to 85.
Gotcha. Because I just missed you because I got to Germany in September of 85.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know Bjorn in the mission. He left, I got there March of 86.
Okay. Yeah, that's not way after, but after anyway.
Yeah. I entered the MTC on January 2nd.
Yeah.
So if you want to count years, I was right, and my normal rotation home was December 18th, the week before Christmas. So I didn't have to
Yeah, I was one of those called for 1.5 years, and then extended when they gave us the option.
Yeah, they stopped calling them right when I put my papers in. And we had a guy come home. So I put my papers in October. So right when you were coming home, like that was.
I remember it was weird as I was getting closer and closer to the 18 months. I just felt it didn't feel finished. I didn't feel like I thought I can't imagine myself going home at that time. Just didn't feel finished for some reason. I actually asked President whether it'd be possible to extend by a month or something like that, and said, well, as we get a little bit closer to the date, let's see what happens. And yeah, and then around just before Christmas time, they said, yeah, everybody can extend if they want to.
Well, that's cool.
Well, you got your wish.
Yeah, I did.
When they made the change.
Well, you left a good legacy. Yeah, you left a good legacy because I heard about you many times throughout my mission. So.
Okay, cool.
A lot of fun. So.
Right,
I gotta go as well. So.
Yeah, I gotta go. I need to do something useful today too. I gotta go help my mom at 3 o'clock. It's 1:30 now. I gotta go help my mom. She's trying to scan something for some family Halloween party or something, and my dad's having problems with it, and he's having a hard time. He's 85 and he's a computer guy, but he's not thinking things as quickly as he used to, processing what the problems might be and stuff. So she calls me up, can you come look at this? So I'm gonna be the good boy and go do it.
Yep.
You're a fancy IT guy then.
I have to actually do work too, but we work in 2-week sprints and it started yesterday. So if I'm a slacker today, I'm not trying to be a slacker on purpose, but if I am, I don't have to make it up until a week and a half. Then I have to work on the weekend and stuff to make it up because I was a slacker.
Right. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Awesome.